Everything you are about to see is true. Although some scenes have been reenacted due to the unavailability of footage and in the interest of dramatic continuity, everything has been portrayed exactly as it occurred.
Hello, and welcome to Great Minds Mind, where we explore the works of the great thinkers and doers of our time. I'm Steve S. Gregg, and today we will examine the life and exploits of a most singular and driven genius, Enrico Cahuet. Even as a young boy, Enrico knew he was destined for greatness.
I am destined for greatness!
Ever inquisitive and alert, young Enrico was fascinated by the minutiae and detail of the world around him.
Fascinating!
But it wasn't until the beginning of his 15th year that the young genius would hit upon the object that would become his life's obsession.
I remember that birthday well. His face just lit up when he saw that cheese. If we only knew then.
Enrico's fascination with cheese aged with him, maturing into a heady obsession by the time he reached university. His studies suffered as a result, but no obstacle could deter him from his research. Romances went unrequited, friendships ignored, even his eventual expulsion from a number of prominent universities was but a mere hurdle in his life's quest. By the time he was 22, Enrico had written the definitive work on cheese. He received awards, critical praise, and numerous fellowships for his oeuvre. And yet happiness, fulfillment eluded him still. For during his research, Enrico had come across rumors of a legendary cheese, supposedly discovered centuries ago in Germany and lost mere decades later during the Crusades, the Götterkäse, or cheese of the gods. From the little I've been able to uncover, this cheese was the accidental product of a sheep farmer's drunken encounter with an old gypsy woman. Legend has it that the recipe for a creamy vinaigrette was passed on to him by the gypsy in exchange for one night's shelter in his barn. The next morning, the farmer rushed to his kitchen to try the recipe, but in his hungover state he made one critical substitution, mistakenly omitting a single ingredient and adding another. We'll never know if this substitution was really the result of the previous night's drunkenness, or if he was secretly a master chef in his own right. But what came out was not a vinaigrette, but a cheese, firm and aromatic, and quite unlike anything the farmer, or indeed anyone else, had ever tasted. The farmer allegedly made a fortune off the cheese, becoming the king's personal cheesemaker. Before he died, he passed on the secret recipe to his son, who was killed during the Crusades, taking the secret with him. Galvanized by his discovery, Enrico devoured the history books, determined to uncover the recipe and resurrect the Götterkäse.
He scoured historic accounts of medieval Germany, folk tales, ballads, anything that might provide him with a clue. When he wasn't at the library, he was in the lab, trying different combinations and mixes. We hardly ever saw him in those days, and when we did, he was pale, distracted, irritable. The search for the cheese was consuming him, spreading him thinly on a cracker of obsession.
And finally, famed cheese authority Enrico Cowett announced today that he has discovered all but one ingredient in his famous life's work, the fabled Götterkäse, or cheese of the gods. Cowett was available only briefly for questions.
It has taken me more years than I care to count, but I am finally close to the end of my quest. The final ingredient, the legendary critical substitution made by the German sheep farmer, cannot elude me for much longer. I have many strong leads and feel confident that my search is very near its end. No more questions.
And that's the kind of day it's been for this Monday, October 25th. For CTV News, I'm Tara Schwartz. Good night.
This was Enrico's last interview, and his words proved prophetic. Just days after his announcement, he uncovered clues that led him to Mexico. Enrico Cowett boarded a plane on October 29, 1988, in pursuit of the so-called critical substitution ingredient. Authorities record the safe arrival of his plane and his check-in at a prominent hotel in Mexico City that evening. The following day, he rented a car and headed out for the desert, where he disappeared and was never heard from again. Enrico Cowett's disappearance was the world's loss. He was a brilliant man, inquisitive, determined, passionate. We won't see another like him for many years, if ever. For Great Minds Mind, I'm Steve Escrack. Good night.
One more time.